Are you responding to life or are you reacting to life? Stay tuned. This is Damon Cart from NLP Gym. React versus respond. NLP Mind Hack. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. The mindset that I'm about to reveal actually comes from something I modeled from legendary martial artist and film action star Bruce Lee. A lot of people don't realize that Bruce Lee was so much more than just a martial artist and so much more than just an action film star. He was actually a philosopher and a teacher. He lived a life of excellence, and I often use him as a role model and somebody who I model excellence from. Lee approached life from a mindset of responding to life rather than reacting. For example, when he would spar with people or when he got into an actual fight, people who witnessed this, or even his opponents, would say that it seemed like he was telepathic, like he seemed to know what they were going to do before they did it. And when people asked Lee, well, what was he doing? Why did he seem to know ahead of time? Like, how could he block strikes before it seemed the person was even throwing a punch, or throw a strike as the person was just beginning to throw their strike? He said it wasn't at all because he was psychic. He said he would respond to the person rather than react to the person. So what is the difference here? A reaction would be the person, let's say a punch is coming at you or some sort of event happens, and you take a moment to think about what you're going to do, and then you do it. That would be a reaction. A response would be you don't think, you just respond. You're in the moment, you move almost as quickly as the event happens. And what it looks like to other people often is that it looks simultaneous. Take dancing for an example. If you've seen people salsa dance or dance, tango, if you notice, if they're really good, what it looks like is one entity moving. Even though it's two people, it looks like one entity moving. If you watch people who are just learning how to do these dances, it looks like they're one person does something, the other person does something, and it's just this back and forth. So they're reacting to each other. And of course, it looks a lot less interesting than if you're looking at two people who are dancing who are responding to each other. And as they're responding to each other, it looks like they're acting simultaneously. Even though if you looked very close, or if you videotaped it and then you slowed it down, you would see that one person is actually moving first and then the other person moves. And that's what, one person's leading and one person's following. However, it looks like they're acting together as one unit. When you react in a situation, especially say in a fight, then you're normally too late. When you have to think about it, it's normally you get hit. That happens in other situations in life too. We're reacting. It's sort of like we're defending. We're constantly defending, or we're constantly, things are coming at us that we weren't expecting. And so we're just reacting as we go. Whereas responding is when you're present, when you're in the moment, and it's kind of a flow state. You may be thinking though, but wait a minute, whenever I speak before I think, or when I act before I think, sometimes I hurt people's feelings, or sometimes I do something really stupid. And yes, that's true. Sometimes we should think about things before, we should think about what we're going to say before we say it. And sometimes we should think about what we're going to do before we do it. It really depends on the situation. And this is why we train. This is why we train ourselves. Bruce Lee was able to do what he did without thinking because he so thoroughly trained his mind and so thoroughly trained his body for that particular situation, a situation of being in combat or a martial arts situation or a fight. And this is where your NLP training can do the same thing. You can train your mind using NLP and even your body for particular situations where unexpected things can happen, and then you respond rather than react. And you can trust your mind and your body to respond to the situation because you've already done the training. And if you think about the analogy with the dancers, if you think about the best salsa dancers in the world, if you've ever seen them, they're not thinking about what they're doing, say in a competition, and they're dancing their heart out. They're not thinking about what they're doing. They're in the moment. They have trained constantly. They've trained their bodies and their minds, so they don't have to think about this. They don't have to react to the person they're dancing with. They're responding to the person they're dancing with, and that comes from hours of practice. In NLP, you can do the same thing. You can have an event happen, something unexpected happen, and then you can go grab an NLP process and apply it to that. Or you can practice NLP daily, so that when something unexpected happens, you remain in the moment, you remain present, and you stay in a place where you have access to all of your resources, and you stay in a resourceful state. Just recently, something happened to me, and immediately I was rocked by what happened, and it actually shook me to my core. I could have reacted by grabbing an NLP process and applying it to the situation and trying to work my way through it. However, I've done so much of this work, and I've done it for so long, that I really didn't have to do that. I came back out of the situation, I guess, like that feeling of being rocked. I came out of it pretty fast. I came out of it on my own. I didn't have to get help from someone else, and I didn't have to work myself through it or apply an NLP process to do it. Remember the saying, it's not important how many times you get knocked down. It's important that you get back up. And that's the importance of doing the training ahead of time, laying that strong foundation of strong core states and resourceful states that even if you get shook or you get knocked down and you lose your center, you gain it right back. Steve Gilligan told me a story once where he said the person who created Aikido was asked one time by one of his students, who said, "Master, it seems as though you never lose your center." And that's the most important thing in Aikido, is not losing your center. Your center is everything. From your center, you are balanced, you're resourceful, you're present, you're in the moment. And the Aikido master said, it's not that I don't lose my center, it's that I get it back faster than my opponent. Check out my website, nlp-gym.com. Follow me on Facebook for real-time updates on upcoming workshops and free practice sessions that I hold right here in Santa Cruz, California. If you like this video, please click like right down here and leave me a comment or a question. I will get back to you. Stay tuned to the end of this video so you can see how you can get your hands on a free NLP online training. Take care.